And people say, well, how old are you? And I said, I don't tell my age. A woman who tells her age will tell anything, and I don't tell you anything. I've lived in Madison for almost 50 years. I came here for a visit in the spring and just fell in love with Madison, driving around, looking at the beauty of it, and I decided this is where I want to live. Then that winter, it was so cold, we had ice storms, and I said, dear God, if you just let me live through this winter, I swear I'll leave this place and never come back. And then spring came again, and I forgot all about my premise, and that's been close to 50 years. I became a foster parent because when my sister was having problems with one of her children, they wanted to send him to a foster home, and my sister said, maybe my sister would take him, maybe Cora would take him. And when he left, then I was referred to Dane County and I took the classes. I had a family. I have 3 children, and I have a lot of other kids who call me mom. Over 200. I think it's close to 250. And I didn't take the typical teenagers either, and they were very difficult. I guess if you can make a difference in someone's life and make them feel good about themselves, I think it's all worth it, and that's the way it should be. And I think I can say that I have made a difference in a lot of kids. At least they tell me this, and I have to believe it if they come back and they tell me. In being a foster parent, I got to know a lot of people, and I became the president of the National Foster Parent Association. I became the Secretary General of the International. So I did a lot of my travels by training foster parents. If I hadn't been healthy, there's no way I could have done it. And everybody keeps asking, how is your health? Are you taking care of yourself? Of course I'm taking care of myself, I would say, and I wasn't doing that at all. So then someone said, why don't you go to Access? And so when I went there and I told them my story of why I hadn't been, because I hadn't been sick and I didn't see any need to take up a doctor's time and so they assigned me to this wonderful, wonderful person by the name of Sarah Rowe. And she was so patient, it made me feel so at ease and so at home, and was like, not just, well, what's ailing you, let me examine you. It was like, she did this in stages, which meant that she was caring about me and my feelings, and not just, well, let's get this get this over with, find out what your problem is and get it. She knew that she had to get to know me, and anytime I needed to see her, I could call and get an appointment practically as like the next day or the next 2 days. So it was like I was a real person, someone who Access cared about. They ended up discovering that I had colon cancer. And Sarah took very good care of me during that time, and that's the way your provider should treat you. If I hadn't listened to her, and if it hadn't been for her, I might be dead, because I felt so comfortable with her. I could just tell her anything, and that's the way people should feel, with their provider. When your work is more than just the clinic and your work is around the community, I just think that it should be known. People should know, and I do what I have to do. And I still refer people to Access. I said, you go to Access and talk to them, because they are about the best that you'll ever find. And I believe it. I'm a firm believer, and I will continue to promote Access.